What's up, everybody? Hang on. I hit the wrong button. Is this thing live? You guys here? Who's here?
What you tripping on? So what you tripping on? Said what you tripping on? So what you tripping on?
That's a weird vibration.
What you tripping on? What you tripping on? Saving over break and we come back way. One listen up, son. Like a bullet down a song, stick around, you get stung in a pain and agony while looking at the beat. We're crossing the path, you'll land up 6 feet deep. The whole of what you see is time to go to sleep. Send you to the coffin while we said just don't breathe. It's mystical, magical, lyrically acrobatical, dramatical to erratical. No time to get dramatical. So what you tripping on now? Said my friend, check it out. So what you tripping on? Silly motherfucker, but tell me what the hell you drinking? Trying to get some flow, then you started sinking. You want my booty in a baggie, grabbing everything you want. Signing with the rhyme, show me how I'm living. Don't know you run having fun, I'm never slipping. Shun by the spark, cause my mind is never tripping. Rising with my wisdom is with birth, I'm shedding light. Knowledge being shouting like a veggie in the night. I'm a demon with this dialect, with over gonna drown ya. Down with his arms, so the hell we got to help ya. Crazy with the cousins, cut the verses, homicidal, verbal king at the ring. Now take a glimpse at the title. So what you tripping on?
All right, you guys, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. Here we go.
So what you tripping on?
I love that song. That's Greenman. That's Greenman's song. I think Greenman's here already. Let's see if he's here.
Am I here?
Greenman, are you here?
I don't know. Am I?
You're here. I see you.
Hey, I've landed.
I think Pucky's here too. Hang on. Hey, Pucky's here.
Hey.
Hey, the gang's all here.
Hey, my cat Midnight's here too. She's here in the background.
Oh, you got a cat, Midnight?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
she's
I
the
see
black
it.
one.
How many
Yes.
cats do you got?
I have 2. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
How old are they?
They're my bodyguards.
Do
7 and 8.
they protect you from demons that come out of the vents at night, like a Stephen King novel?
Maybe not the vent, but something. You know, they protect me for something.
Let me say hi to everybody. What's going on here? Hang on, let me switch these cameras around. Hey, so we got Greenman. He's over here. And then we got Pucky. He's down here. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining. We got some people in the chat room already. Yeah, Game Vet. Game Vet's in the chat room.
Hey,
What's up, Game Bet?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Stu Gerson's there. Dark Hour Paranormal's there. That's cool. What's up, everybody? Glad to see you guys here. We're just gonna shoot the shit about paranormal for a little bit. We really don't even know what we're gonna talk about, but I'm glad that we have Greenman and Pucky here because they have a lot of interesting stories, and I just like to chime in and tell mine while they're telling theirs. So let's get to it. Greenman, you know you've been here before, so I'm gonna start with Pucky. All right, Pucky, what's up, man? How are you?
Thanks for having me on today, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Glad that you're here. So, where do you live at now, buddy? Can you
Yeah, I live just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's quite nice here. I moved here about I don't know, 10 years ago from Nova Scotia, Canada, and just kind of lived all around U.S. and a little bit of Canada. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it here in North Carolina.
Well, do you mind if we ask what brought you down to North Carolina from Nova Scotia?
Just family that moved here and lived here. So I just came to came to visit, and I never left.
So you're a big hockey fan?
Hockey all the way, man.
All the way. Who's your team?
Hockey and man, of course. The let's see here, just a second. There you go, Carolina Hurricanes.
Carolina Hurricanes. Wow, cool. We're Blackhawks fans here, actually, but we had our streak for a little while. That was great.
Yes.
I can't wait for it to come back on, right?
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. I also like rugby too. Rugby is like, I played rugby for quite a while. So ever since I was like 13 until about like 5-6 years ago, and I had to quit. I got too old. Start to hurt.
You look like you're 19 years old. How are you? How old are you?
I'm 42.
42?
Yeah, it's I guess it must be the Guinness I drank. I don't know.
The Guinness. Greenman, what's up, man? You got anything to say to Pucky? Yeah, you know, we met in the Discord chat room for UFO Buster. We talk a lot of fun smack there. You and Greenman just say a lot of funny stuff. You know, I enjoy you guys' banter on there.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Pucky's funnier than I am.
Everybody that I've talked to in there, man, they're really nice. You know, and the coolest thing about it is that we share all an interest of, you know, UFOs, ghosts, you know, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and dude, that being able to connect with other people across the country that is into that kind of stuff, it's just an amazing thing, you know.
Right. Now that you brought that subject up, and that's what we were going to talk about, why don't you go ahead and start us off with a story? Have you ever seen anything paranormal before, Pucky? Unexplained that you would want to share with us and describe in detail and what you felt while you're witnessing it?
Oh, yes. A couple of years ago, me and some college buddies, we went on a 2-week van cruise across the country, going off to UFO hotspots, haunted attractions, and stuff like that. And we made a short documentary on it. If you ever want to watch it, you know, I can send you the link through Discord.
Sure.
But we stopped in this place in Alabama called Bass Cemetery. I don't know. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's been on a few of those ghost shows and stuff like that. Well, we got there right before sunset, and it was like super peaceful and it's quiet. You know, this cemetery is supposed to be known for like it's an old Civil War slave cemetery also, and it has some modern graves in it, but it's kind of off the beaten path down a long dirt road, and it has slaves and Confederate soldiers buried there. Well, we got there, we're set up and everything like that, but when the nighttime came, man, that's where a lot of stuff started happening. It was like we started hearing like voices out in the woods, screaming kind of deal. We started picking up stuff on EVP recorders. We didn't hear it until we got back to the studio and back into the recording studio, start doing editing and anything like that. But the weirdest thing that freaked me out too was like at first the camera batteries were draining really fast. The camera batteries on the lights, on the flow lights, were just like going out and then coming back on really bright. And then we had our van, and the van lights came completely on. Like the check engine light came on, the seatbelt light came on, like the headlights, every light that was on that van came on. Then it would go out, and we heard like in the EVP. It wasn't really EVP; it was just on the camera. When we got back to the studio, excuse me, we saw a little spike in the audio, and we're like, "What is this?" And it's starting to play it, and this little voice, you can hear it say, "No more," and we just all freaked out. We just ran out of the studio, man. I was like, "I'm done. I'm done editing for the day." But other than that, we also went out to Texas. To Aurora, Texas. You ever heard about like in was it 1870 something where they buried the alien? Yeah, wow. There at the cemetery.
Tell us more about the story. I really want to hear about this. Could you elaborate more?
Yeah. Well, we got out there, like when people saw us unpacking our camera equipment, they like flocked to us. Like the people that live there, like in Aurora, they were really just like, what are you doing here? You know, I was like, well, we're here to see the cemetery. You know, can you tell us a little bit about it? And we actually got an elder that was taking care of the cemetery. He cut the grass and stuff, came down there and told us the story about the alien that was buried there. And every so often they would have a marker there in the cemetery that had like an original. It's duplicated now, but the original had like a makeshift UFO on it, and every so often they would steal it. Somebody would steal it. Well, I don't know if you know this, but over the period of years, people have tried to exhume the body that was supposed to have been buried there, and then you know, people are doing metal detecting and everything like that. So the city has been really actually it's not a city, it's a town. It's small, very small. And they have done everything they can to protect this little site where this alien is supposed to be buried at. But you know, one time they did like what do you call it? Like ultrasound, you know, onto the ground of it, and they got a hit on it. But then when they actually got the information and the okay to go to maybe probe around a little bit more, they went to do it again, and over the night they you know, the sound was gone. You know, there was nothing there. They couldn't see it. Yeah, there's a little bit more into it. You just kind of had to dig it up. It's just really freaky just to actually be right next to a spot to where an alien could have actually been buried at. And we went to the well. I think it was Judge Proctor that his windmill got knocked down by this UFO as it crashed.
Wow.
And they buried it. Yeah, they buried it in the well itself.
That's amazing. Green Man, what do you know about this story? I know you know something, buddy.
Yeah, I've heard about that. This one, they clipped the windmill, then they took all the bits and they threw, you know, a bunch of the scrap down in the windmill, and then or down the well, and then it got covered over for years. It was on somebody else's property line and wouldn't let anybody touch it. But they finally got the okay to start like digging around in the well or something like a couple years back.
Yeah, but the thing about it is the owner of that new property, he went in there and started digging around and touching stuff. He actually had this like severe arthritis in his hands. Like it was like horribly bad. And eventually it killed him. You know, and I think they covered it up from then too after that. And like you can go down to the city hall and talk to the mayor. And she was like super easy to talk to, and she'll tell you the whole story about it. I mean, this little town in Aurora, man. I mean, there's a gas station, a cemetery, and a couple of houses. That's it. I'm serious. This town is so small. If you blink, it's gone. You know, and it's off the highway too. It's not even close. But
go ahead, Green Man. Do you think there's an alien buried there?
I don't. I mean, I can't say yes or no. I wasn't there, but I mean, from the story, that's the way the story was. It's, you know,
why would they bury it, and why?
Well, it was.
Why would they not the world we found?
Well, yeah, you know, it's back because this was like ways back. You know,
1800s. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it wasn't like they really had, you know, a press junket they could send it out on, and you know, and travel it all around the country. It was just kind of like, all right, we got this dead thing. Where does it go? In the cemetery.
Yeah, they actually they printed up an article in the newspaper for the little town, and there was people actually they gave it a Christian burial, and there was people there that saw it, you know, during that time. And once they buried it, that was it. That was history of that, and it stayed like dormant. The subject, you know, everybody tried to cover it up, didn't talk about it, and then people started getting interested in it. You know, back when, you know, the TV shows and all that stuff started coming up more, getting more, you know, information out about UFOs. You know, when they started putting all these UFO shows and everything like that, you know, on TV, that's when people started getting more interested about it and going out to the grave. And that's when, you know, they try to, it's like, hey, it's there, be respectful. It could be still there. I think they actually dug it up. I think so. I think your MIB eventually came and got it. I really do.
I gotta address Rick Realm's comment in the chat room. He says I look debonair with my scarf on. I'm in a bar, so somebody walks in, I have to flip it on and protect them from my breathing. But let me get back to the. Do you guys think it's possible that UFOs crash, or do you think they get shot down? What do you think is more likely, Green Man? Go ahead.
Well, like they were saying for Roswell, there was a big electrical storm, But then again, our jumbo jets are designed to get hit by lightning and make it. So how the hell could a lightning bolt take down something that traveled, from
absolutely?
What do you
think,
away?
Pucky? Do you think?
I don't think we have. Well, at the time of Roswell, and probably, at the time of Roswell, I'm sure we didn't have that kind of artillery that can.
I'm still here.
Something,
yeah,
that it would even be able to hit something going that fast.
Yeah. If I cut out during the stream, you guys keep talking all right? Because it'll jump on and forth. Right?
All right.
But I really don't think we had the equipment to knock out a UFO that could have moved faster than. I mean, I think we were still using propeller engines, during that time for jets. I think for airplanes, we were just like really tapping into the jet systems in the 50s because it did.
Could it be how about an alien war? Maybe it's a war between UFOs and they shot one down.
No, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. That's pretty interesting.
Interesting is correct. UFOs are very interesting and they're very fun, aren't they? Let's get back to something that the Dark Hour Paranormal put in the chat room, and that it was something that you were talking about earlier, Pucky, when you went to Arizona to ghost hunt. You said that the energy was messing with the electricity there, and Dark Hour had said something that to the effect that there's something about electricity with the paranormal. What do you guys feel about that? Why does the paranormal need electricity? Go ahead, Pucky.
Okay, now when he was talking about that, I experienced something like that before, and I haven't really talked about this too much. Only a few people know about this, some of my close friends. But I grew up in my teenage years in Arizona. Okay. My senior year of high school, I saw the Phoenix Lights. Me and my mother both saw it.
Nice.
That night when it came over, like Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, Arizona, the air was stale. It was super stale, and it had a charge in it. And when it flew over, I remember my mom putting her hands on top of my shoulders, going, "Hey, this is nuts. This is end." She was telling me she loved me and everything like that. I was like, all right, I was a teenager, but still, I got to see this. I saw this, and there was a charge into it. You could feel it. You felt it on your skin. Even when we were in Bass Cemetery in Alabama,
I agree.
You can feel that kind of stuff. There is a charge in the air. I mean, no matter what, if it's UFOs or it's something different around you, you'll definitely feel it. It's like some people experience cold when they go into a place that could be haunted.
Green Man, what do you think? What's oh,
sorry. Well, I could definitely understand.
Excellent response, Pucky. Green Man, what do you feel?
I could definitely understand how it could.
Oh, my internet's staying on.
If it puts a charge or something into the air. I can still hear you.
Okay, good.
Because the only idea kind of propulsion system that we could kind of even begin to grasp that they might have that would be efficient enough to move them around fast enough would have to be some kind of anti-gravity, something like that. And if gravity can warp light and time and everything, the creation of that type of field has got to have some kind of effect on the surrounding environment. It only makes sense that it would, something as big as what was supposed to have flown over Phoenix, that thing was massive.
It was massive.
You know,
it was huge.
Yeah, the field that thing must have had to have generated, just nuts. Yeah, it would only kind of make sense that it would have some kind of atmospheric effect.
With the charge itself, I mean, like when you looked up at the ship itself, when it came closer, you could see the outline of it, man. It had a blurry effect, almost like a mirror image, but you could still see it was dark on the bottom of it. But you can totally see where the lights were. You could see, I mean, they were massively huge.
Pucky, let me stop you real quick. My internet cut out for a second. Did you say you were there to see the Phoenix lights?
Yes, I was. I grew up in Arizona during my teenage years. Yes, all the way till 1997.
All right. Go ahead and describe it some more. I love hearing this.
Well, actually, that night when it started happening.
Salon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. When it happened that night, our electricity went off that night too. And
sorry, the internet. Go ahead. Explain it.
Our electricity went out that night for an hour or two, but everybody, I lived in an apartment complex. There was everybody outside, just in the street, looking straight up when this trip came over, and it gave off like a vibe. Everybody was freaking out. Everybody was, you could feel it. You could, it's almost like you feel something on the back of your neck. It was that kind of charge that was given off. I have no idea where this came from. If we had a landing strip that can fit that, I'd be surprised. But this is no way. It was huge. Say it again.
It was massive, huh?
It was huge, and there is no way to explain how big this thing is. It blacked out. And we had
I had saw a massive. Yeah. You know what? I have to apologize. I keep my internet. It must be on the fritz or something. It keeps cutting out. But go ahead and finish what you were saying, Pucky. I apologize.
That's okay. I'm just saying. That night it definitely changed my life in believing in UFOs. I mean, I had an idea of it, but after I saw that, but the day after is when even the governor, Phi Symington, was a governor at the time. He was trying to cover it up, saying, "Oh, y'all stressing out." You remember they had they said they caught him. They brought in the alien dressed up, trying to make fun of it and stuff. But years later, after he was out of office, he talked again. He said, "Yes, I saw something. I saw that," just like thousands of other people in Arizona that night saw that. Now, there is no way of covering that up.
You had said that it changed your reality. You finally decided that, after seeing it, it was a reality for you. How did that make you feel? What did it change about you personally or mentally or spiritually? What came after that to Pucky?
It made me feel this small on this earth, knowing that there is something else more out there, that is, it's beyond years, just years. It could be centuries above us. It just made us feel like a little speck, because we have no idea what is out past, our Milky Way universe. I mean, if there's life form out there, how far did they have to travel just to get here, just to see that for that night?
Absolutely.
It just amazes me.
Green Man, what do you know about the Phoenix Lights? What have you read or seen or heard?
Oh, just the standard story. That it was. It started just a little. They started seeing it a little south of Area 51, I think, and then it. It's made its way down over, and it's. I mean, at the time, I remember hearing about it on the news and thinking, "Oh, well, finally, it's something this big. They can't just blow it off." Finally, they're gonna say something, and still the same bullshit cover up. Oh, it was flares, and
a lot of people were out that night trying to see the comet. What was it? The Hellbot comet.
Yeah.
That night. So a lot of people were out anyway. And then when this thing appeared, it just brought the people out of their houses. It was, I'm serious. I lived in an apartment complex during this time, and just everybody was out into the street. Straight up.
Can I ask you something? If the Phoenix Lights happened May 30th, 2020, do you think the event would be live streamed by multiple?
Oh, yeah.
Witnesses?
Oh, it would be on. There'd be no way to cover that up. I mean, if we had cell phones that could do what we do now with it, then I think by now we would have disclosure. We had full disclosure by now, at least.
Why do you guys think we have not had a mass live stream UFO event yet? Do you think the UFOs do not care about us, or you think they're just holding back? What do you guys think?
I mean, Greenman, you want to take this one?
Go ahead.
It's just a matter of they're here to watch and observe, and whether there's the whole theory of this is their kind of petri dish and zoo, and they're coming back to check on what they've tinkered with millions of years ago or thousands of years ago, and they're not going to just come down, and just start handing everybody fucking ray guns and shit like that. I mean, what would happen if you handed a gorilla a fucking hand grenade? Within 30 minutes, you're going to have 10 gorilla bits. Yeah. You're just not going to do that. They're watching us. We can't even get along with ourselves. And then what the hell? What smart, outcome would be by giving us all this technology that we would just always turn it into some damn weapon. That's what we do.
We're pretty much
same thing. Go ahead.
We're pretty much an ant farm to them, I would say. I mean, seriously, look what's going on right now. We got riots in Atlanta, Minnesota. We have wars. We have huge plastic pits out in the ocean. I think the biggest one is out in the Pacific Ocean right now. We're destroying our planet.
With all these problems, though, do you think that AI might come and solve them all, Pucky?
To be honest with you, I don't think they would probably bother with us. I think they would exterminate us.
I'm talking about artificial intelligence built by humans. Do you think AI could solve all the issues that you're describing for us?
I don't know. Maybe some, but not everything.
Yeah.
Because as long as they're humans, we're going to be destructive.
Yeah. We're the X factor. As long as we're around, the possibility of throwing shit, more. Oh, don't worry about it. A robot will pick it up for me now. Boom, right out in the fucking water. It could just potentially make it worse. Just the basic mentality of humanity will get that much more slack. 100 years ago, when you needed something, you made it your fucking self. Now you go on Amazon, you go to Walmart. If you take even more of having to actually do and create things, and just hands on, it's just gonna make I don't have to worry about this. AI will take care of it. I don't have to worry about this, and AI will take care of it. And I don't have to vacuum my floor anymore. I got a Roomba, and it's just you're just catering to that. I can let it go. I can let it go.
Do you guys think it's the natural order of things? Because I have kids, and they have I have grandkids as well, and
grandkids. Wow.
Yeah. I got a bunch of young ones, and well, my boys are older, but the kids are younger. But they seem to be plugged into their phone 24/7, and every time they got a question, they're asking their search engine, what's the answer. So do you guys feel it's inevitable that AI will be like a Wall-E movie? I don't know if you guys ever seen that one.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Eventually it will be. I mean, like, your technology compared to what it was, You show a kid a dictionary or a thesaurus these days, they have no idea what to do with it. It's this device right here.
Right.
Pick it up. That's your dictionary. That's your thesaurus. That's your encyclopedia. That's your everything.
Do you guys ever think that technology will be melded with the human body?
Oh yeah,
at some point.
Eventually, at some point, yes.
What do you think?
I mean, they already have like the Google glasses. You can wear them, and I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure it'll be all infused with your glasses and everything you do.
Do you ever think it was part of the human body though, implanted in?
Yeah. A few years back, I was watching a show about vision and how they were trying to correct and fix blindness, and they were using like a little chip that they were actually slipping. I can't remember if they were slipping it like into the eye, underneath the iris or something, or actually all the way around to the back. But dude, it was like this little pad that looked like it had about in a square and about 12 dozen little micro-sized LED lights, and they slipped it behind this totally blind guy's eye, and shit, if he didn't start seeing shadows and shapes and stuff.
Wow.
So the medical, the good of the medical will purposes will be nice. I think it's going to be first kind of upgrades mentally will be kind of like that one Keanu Reeves movie, Johnny Mnemonic or whatever, where he had like a storage unit in the back of his head. I think it'd be something kind of like that, to where it's like instant learning kind of thing.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
Now, Gutter, I have to ask you. This is the first time I've been on your show. And I know you have this bar, and you said there's somebody died on your pool table there. Or?
Matt, do you want to take this one?
The story's all night at this point.
Okay, I'll switch the screen real quick, and let me. Well, there was a former owner, a former proprietor here who, he was very stressed out with life, I guess, at the time. He was getting a divorce, and I guess he was an unhealthy person, and he was drinking a lot, and he ended up dying on the pool table over there. I don't know if you guys could see. Brain aneurysm, says Matt.
Oh, dang.
I'll jump in.
Here comes Matt. Matt, I got a camera right here for you, buddy. Okay, there's Matt, everybody. Say hi.
Hey, Matt. How you doing, man?
What's going on, Matt?
Still one of my regulars. He told me that he was coming here after work, and he went to open the door, and it was locked at 4 in the afternoon. And he looked over, and he saw Andy, apparently asleep on the pool table. And he figured, like I said, Andy was going through a divorce. He figured, Andy probably just, was upset and not handling it well, and tied one on and passed out on the pool table. But apparently what happened was he wasn't feeling great, and he went to lay down for a second, and that was the brain aneurysm, and he was done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, Gutter, I have to ask you now, what do you, we've talked about, some UFOs and ghosts and stuff like that. Now, what about certain earthly entities? Like we're talking about Bigfoot, Mothman, the Lizard Man down in South Carolina and stuff like that. Do you believe in that kind of stuff, or?
I do. I do. I think I've seen the Mothman fly over me twice.
No way. Has anybody ever been to Point Pleasant to go to the Mothman festivals or anything like that?
I have not. But a lot of people around Cook County, Illinois, where I'm from, see the Mothman here. And a few years ago, I saw something that looked like a big, giant, ugly bird with red eyes glide over. It didn't flap. It didn't fly.
It just glided.
It was kind of gliding, trying to, just like a glider. It wasn't flying. And I saw it twice over a span of maybe about 2 or 3 years. It was pretty crazy, scary. It was ugly looking. This guy said it looked like the devil.
Yeah,
it did.
a couple of years ago, I went to the 50 years of the Mothman Festival, and I got this coin, and just to remind that when I went, but it looks pretty good like
cool.
that. But I've always been more interested in Mothman, and then second, Bigfoot, and the Sasquatch and everything like that. But Mothman just totally, trips me out. How they think it could have formed or where it came from, but it could be related to aliens or UFOs, because they did have encounters of the Men in Black there in Point Pleasant.
I think the cryptids are supernatural. I really believe that. I think they're part of the UFO, something to it. That's my guess. I don't know for a fact, but there's something about Mothman that reminded me of UFOs.
Now, talking about the Men in Black and stuff,
I've never met the Men in Black. Never.
I've never seen one. Never. I mean, but after a few years, I mean, the last one they really caught on camera was that one in Canada where they had that UFO at the hotel.
Go ahead.
And but you don't hear stories about seeing Men in Black anymore.
How come you don't hear any stories about women in black, man? I'd rather get a visit from some women in black.
Yes, of course.
Where's the women in black? Hey, Greenman, have you ever been visited by the MIBs?
No, FBI, but no MIBs.
So have I, as a matter of fact. Just for it was a funny story, but I'm not going to share it here.
But no, but I mean, it's like, but the closest thing to like MIB, I would say, is definitely back on the when we were on the documentary career. We made our way out to Rachel, Nevada. But they were, they're at the Little Alien. They have like people from the base that comes out there to eat and drink, and there's FBI, CIA, NSA, whatever other three-letter abbreviation you can think of comes out there. And every time they came into the bar, we had to stop filming, and we accidentally got one on the on there. So during editing, we're like, all right, let's just blur out his face. That way we don't get in trouble. They don't come for us. But, they're camo guys that come out, the troops or whatever. And you could tell who they are because they have this huge laminate that come out from the base and they tuck it in. And it's just the way they walk, way they talk. You can tell it by their haircuts, everything, that they're from the base. They're part of the military or some kind of government agency.
Yeah, they're keeping crashed aliens and aliens and UFOs, right? Isn't that what we were talking about earlier tonight? And we were talking about a few minutes before that how technology might be introduced into the human body. Greenman, do you think that we have recovered crash alien technology and it has influenced our technology currently?
I have no doubt. Because we made the jumps that we made so quick, are how do you explain going from a vacuum tube, which is, that big, to do a function electronically, to a transistor that's fucking that big.
Oh yeah.
Within a couple of years.
Or going from a cassette tape to a CD.
Yeah.
And to a micro CD, and then up to SD cards. It's amazing, how fast from cassette tapes and vinyl did we get CDs? I mean, it's like, I really do think that was cell phones,
Did you guys watch the Elon Musk launch today?
I caught it late, though, but I did watch it.
I thought it was amazing. He says that we're going to be colonized on Mars. Do you guys think that's going to be a thing in our lifetime? Anybody?
Maybe when I'm in my 80s,
Yeah.
Maybe, so.
It's hard to say, because, dude, I mean, we went to the fucking moon 50 years ago. Haven't gone back. Why? It's like
it's very expensive.
What have we? Yeah, but the cheapest way to get to Mars was going to be using the moon as a base, because the moon is loaded with helium-3, which is an excellent fuel. it's absolutely, it's like the moon's got like 10 times as much helium-3 on it than we have here on Earth.
So you're saying that because we have not conquered the moon yet, we will not be able to make it to Mars? Is that what you're trying to get to?
Well, there's a reason why we haven't gone back to the moon, and to get to Mars, we would have to go to the moon. So we're going to have to take it to steps, otherwise we're just not going to do it.
I believe it takes 6 to 8 months just from a satellite or something like that reaches from Earth to Mars.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, we can barely stay in the house for 2 months, during quarantine. You think we're going to be trapped in a ship for 8 months just to get?
What if humans learn how to attach themselves to a comet or asteroid or similar, like a Oumuamua, and hitch a ride to that destination? Do you think that might be a possibility?
No, I think we'll get light speed. I think we'll conquer light speed and our hyperdrive and stuff like that before we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, because that's like wrangling a wild pony to go for a ride.
Yeah,
and that's a wild pony that only, like Haley's Comet, you're gonna wait around fucking 76 years to get another ride. It's just not. I just don't see that as effective. I think what we will do is eventually start mining, asteroids and everything, because we're gonna run out of resources on the planet at some point.
I agree.
We've got 10 times, 100,000 times more floating around us that we could, all we need to do is just find the rock that's floating by, and that one's got oil, got iron, get that one, this one's gold, and I think that's gonna be something that's going to be done pretty heavy in the future at some point.
A lot of the planet hasn't been explored though yet, Green Man. There might be pockets of endless resources we haven't tapped yet. Maybe is that possible?
Well, I'm sure there's still oil deposits and whatnot that we haven't found, but even though once we find them, the time's ticking on that supply.
Right. I mean, how many more years does the Middle East actually have that much oil? I mean, eventually this oil, it could be 20 years, 100 years, 300 years from now. I mean, when that oil dries up, that's it, man.
Do you guys think that when UFOs make their trips here, they're using any of the Earth's resources that the humans use, or do you think they use their own, tap into the sun or something?
I think they use their own, just like what Bob Lazar was always talking about. What was it? Something 15?
The element 115.
Element 115. I believe that there is other. I mean, of course, there's other elements out there that we have not discovered yet, and of course, we're not going to discover them because we can barely leave Earth. As far as we get is Mars. We drop. Unless we can find stuff on Mars, but until we find other elements to make us go faster, in like speed, then we're going to be dependent on fossil fuels and it's synthetic fuels that we use to shoot off rockets and stuff like that.
Green Man, do you think we'll ever go faster than light as human beings?
Not faster than light. I think we'll find ways around.
You mean like wormholes?
Wormholes, learning how to, like a gravitational fold system.
Wormholes? Oops.
Wormholes, something that will, you can link, 2 points in the universe, and it's sort of kind of bring them together to one point. You just, boop, and then you just unfold. So you're not.
How is that going to be even possible? How is that going to happen? How much energy would it take to make one? What are you going to need to do that, Green Man? How do you make a wormhole?
More than a hope and a prayer.
A shit ton of power is what it takes.
Do you think there's already wormholes out there and we just have to go find them? Is that a possibility?
Yeah,
I maybe so. I mean, it's space; it's endless. I'm sure there's something there, but getting to it. That's another story.
I kind of think that it might be, if they're out there already, it's two black holes that are linking, because in a black hole you have the feeding and then you also have an ejection of what it's already fed off of. So black holes can distort light, time, everything. We have really no understanding how deep down inside they could potentially work, because when you get down to the center of it, our understanding of physics is completely out the window. So the possibility of once you get into one it could punch a hole from one side, grab to another, and link two together, and you could have a black hole actually being a passageway.
Pucky, what do you think?
If you take that left turn at Albuquerque, man, you could be screwed. I'm serious. I mean, what if he was right? What if you get inside the center of this black hole, and it's like an endless infinity space? How are you going to know where to go? What if you can turn? What if you turn your ship left? You could end up somewhere else. Than your destination. Then you're lost in space.
Matt, do you have anything to say about black holes? Gotcha. Matt doesn't want to chime in right at the moment. The extent of what I know about black holes is reading a sci-fi book or watching a sci-fi movie. I'm not too familiar with it. Do you think those are like the building blocks of the universe, Green Man? Do you think that it's what caused the Big Bang, possibly?
No, I don't necessarily think that they were the cause of the Big Bang. Although it's possible, because the Big Bang was started by a singularity, and at the center of each each black hole, you have a singularity.
Okay.
My idea about what happened to the universe is, with physics, I mean, you can explain and do demonstrations of physics with normal, common, everyday things like a rubber band. If you stretch it out so far, it's going to snap back. And I think that's kind of what might have happened with the universe. It's a singularity, an explosion, an expansion. It comes back, can only go out so far, and it pulls back together. Boom! It's compressed. Another Big Bang. It's like a reoccurring recycling event. Blows, expands as far as it can, comes back, compresses all over again.
Green Man, that's a great segue for my next question for Pucky. Pucky, do you think there's a reincarnation? Do you think humans come back after they die to this earth again?
Yes, I do believe so. There's actually been several cases where kids start just kind of rambling on about. I remember watching this documentary and reading about this. There's this kid. It was going up to his parents and talking about this World War II airplane. I mean, this kid had to be like 3 or 4, and he was describing every detail about this plane. And they're like, "How do you know this? You're 3. Only people you know is Sesame Street, Big Bird, and Mr. Rogers." Right. And then he kept talking about details and how to fly and just like that. They think that he could have been reincarnated, back as a human into this kid, and just his memory, didn't fade away right away. And then as he got older, it kind of just fade away. But he watches videos of where they used to video him talking about these planes. And there was no way he could have known this. I mean, he was like 3, 4 years old, telling you details about missions and like how this plane is put together. And it was amazing. And there's like other stories about, soldiers being these kids coming back as soldiers, and they wake up in the middle of the night screaming, and they're having goodness, what do you call it? Yeah, having nightmares and having PTSD over these
Past
dreams.
Lives?
Yeah.
Green Man, what do you think? Is there reincarnation, buddy?
Absolutely. What's
your proof of that? What's your example?
The same thing, with what Pucky was saying, is there's been too many cases to where, how is an 8-year-old kid in Denver going to know the name of a World War II Soviet soldier, know how he died, and the whole circumstances, be able to describe the battlefield, what's going on, what kind of wound the guy got, you know. How the fuck does that happen unless there's got to be some tie into it? You know,
Yeah.
the 5-year-old kid's not going to sit there glued to the fucking History Channel and piling through old World War II fucking novels and books and, you know, documentation. You know?
It was interesting that you had made the comment about the universe snapping back again. That's what brought me to this conversation. I believe that there is reincarnation. My example is my granddaughter. I told my mom when she was passing away that she can come back as one of my grandkids. And my granddaughter was born with this big red ball of hair on her head, even though both her parents had dark hair. Eventually, she grew out of that hair, like my mom had bright red ginger hair. She was like full blown Irish ginger. And but what was weird is my granddaughter one day, out of the blue, she would always call me Papa Dave. You know, Papa Dave, what are you doing? She started calling me David. Nobody called me David in my family except for my mom, which was quite weird. And I was like, oh my God, you know, that kind of confirmed for me that that's my mom again. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some people here, so it's going to get a little loud. I only got 9 more minutes left with you guys, so just hang in there with me, all right?
Yeah, you know,
We were
I,
gonna
I,
finish.
do believe, I do believe in the reincarnation and stuff like that, but I mean, it's just lost souls, you know, lost souls that could be still wondering, and they find their exit out, you know, to being reincarnated, or they have unfinished business.
Yeah, I
know?
believe we come back to learn certain lessons.
Absolutely.
You know, it's, you know, I've done a couple things. I've done hypnosis one time on a past life. Been to a couple mediums, you know, and yeah, Gutter's going stealth there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And, you know, and they all say, you know, they all tend to say the same thing. Is, you know, we choose the life that we have,
Right,
for the purpose of learning what we need to learn at that time. And, you know, I fully believe that souls revolve around each other.
right.
You know, we will come back with, you know, your sister this time will be your uncle next time, your mom will be, you know, your brother, kind of thing. Because I've had, you know, mediums tell me, oh yeah, well, you know, this individual in your life now has been with you before, and you two are always together during wartime. We're always fighting, but this time around was just kind of our life to just relax and enjoy each other and just hang out.
Mhm.
You know,
I couldn't agree with you more, Green Man. You really hit the nail on the head with that one. What do you think, Pucky?
You know, I kind of agree with that. You know, it's just sometimes it's kind of hard to think about some of this stuff, especially reincarnation, because I mean, most people's everyday item, you know, things, you know, you can't say, hey, this soul was lost, you know, it could be coming back. But, you know, it's that right there. I try not to even think about that a lot. That's a subject I haven't really even thought about a lot either. So, I mean, that's something I probably should, you know, dabble more into.
For the next time you come on, Pucky, you better have your reincarnation studied up, man. All right? You're gonna get
Definitely so.
reincarnation 101. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up here with you guys because there's people starting to pour in a little bit, and we'll do it again, guys, for sure. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you for letting us come on.
See you guys in the Discord, and I'll see you in the chat rooms like Manny Moonrakers and Goof-Ons and stuff like that. Okay, guys.
thanks for having us, Gutter.
Okay, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. All right, see you guys later, Pucky. All right, that was cool. Those were the dudes from Discord. My chat buddies. They come on and join. I'm gonna wrap it up here. There's a lot of people here now. People want to get out of the house. They want to go out and party. It's Saturday night. It's about time in Chicago. I just hope nobody goes and riots and tears shit up. That's stupid. You gonna go loot for? Quit looting. The fuck, man? You guys stealing shit? It's dumb. Be cool. You guys got to be nice to each other. I'll see you guys in the other chat rooms. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope I don't have anything in my teeth. You guys are awesome. Sorry I got to wear a hat. I haven't had a haircut in months. My hair looks like, I'm not even going to say. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys. Later. Hope you guys had fun. I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to come on tomorrow. I got a guest tomorrow, I think. I think I got a cool guest tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. I'll see you guys there. Later.